Alright, we're going to take a look at this Legend 2 Pos 5 Dazzle replay analysis. See what happens. So your carry is a Tiny, I think? It's Dazzle Tiny, is that what's happening? And you're probably against like Veno Windranger or Veno Rasta. I don't hate these starting items. 6 tangos is reasonable if you want to tango your Tiny a lot. Dazzle has mana problems, so I just feel like starting with no mana regen items is like a little sus. Interesting. Poison on poison action. Yeah, going for that rune is pretty not good, I think, because it's just dangerous. Yeah, now this is happening. So, the only thing I could say is just don't go for that rune alone. It's just too much. That's kind of cool. This guy just feeds. And you bought what? You buy a salve and more tangos? Okay, you're still gonna have mana problems. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna pull off. I guess I don't hate this. Some free farm out of your tower for Tiny. And you get level 2 and you grave TP out. Hold on. What is happening here? Oh, you get griefed by the thing. Well, honestly, I guess that's okay. That kind of sucks. I guess there's nothing you can do about that. I guess that's fine. I was gonna like be like, what was your positioning? Like, how did that happen? But then you just got pulled by this stupid fucking creep. Like, I don't think you were like out of position. So you're making the long walk back to base. I think it's worth considering buying like a windlace, like in situations like this, where like you have to walk back to base, and like it could be an item you want anyways. I don't know. You don't have to. So you're gonna block this camp. There's not a whole lot of laning that's happening. It's kind of some weird stuff. So I feel like there's not a ton to talk about. Yeah, you don't have. You have Grave, which makes it hard to like sustain it all. I guess that's what all your regions for. I guess you don't need mana regen if you don't take heal. So you're kind of just chilling with your Tiny. I think you guys have some aggressive potential. Like, you kind of need to be on the same page. And, like, ideally he has tree grab. But, like, you poison touching plus him avalanche tossing kills this Veno. Like, full to 0, this Veno just dies. He's got no move speed items. The stun sets up, like, your poison touch, and he just dies. And Windranger can't really stop him. He can do damage back to you. Okay, so you do it now. That's pretty much what I was talking about. So I guess that's good. Punishing people who are out of position, who like can't be there, and recognizing you're strong is like pretty good. Okay, so you're kind of late to this pull. So after you kill this Veno, like you damaged the creeps a lot, or Tiny damaged the creeps a lot as part of the kill attempt with like avalanche and stuff, which is fine. But you immediately need to like think about fixing the lane here, because now you've got an extra range creep, right? So it's 5 creeps on 4, and you guys are gonna push out. So your priority just needs to be to like pull here. So like, when do you want to pull, right? You don't want to pull for no reason, but you want to pull here because the lane equilibrium is pushing, and they're not really going to stop you. Veno's not here, Windranger's laning. So there's like a free pull that you just miss. That would have been really good. You're kind of late. And you go for the stack. Okay, you get the stack, but now like Tiny has to be like out of position, right, to like lane, and Veno's back. So like getting the stack there is not as good as just pulling. So I don't know if you were late or if you had the intent of stacking the entire time, in which case I would tell you should have pulled instead. Okay, but you kill Veno again. Yeah, you guys just kind of murder Veno. Okay, you're gonna chase this guy around, which I don't hate because Veno's not here. I would like to get a pull off though, and again, you're not pulling. Yeah, so definitely be looking to pull after these like kills, like if the lane's shoving, or like you can tell Tiny to shove the lane, right? Like even if the lane's not shoving, be like, hey, shove out the lane. I'm gonna go pull and get the pull off. Could be worth. Oh wait, let's talk about this. Holy moly, you got so much gold. I didn't notice this, but this is not good. So you need to me, this happens because you have not decided yet what items you want to buy, like at your level, right? You're not like Guardian, so you're not, like, I assume you're better at spending your gold in this normally. Hopefully that's a good assumption to make. But like, you need to be spending this gold on something. Like, you need to decide what you need for this lane, and like, put it in your quick buy or whatever, and like, buy the items. Like, I think your courier did die, but it's respawned for a while now, I think. At least, like, a minute or something. And you need to be, like, getting more items. Like, whatever you think you need. If it was me, I'd maybe grab, like, I think something like Boots Mango. Like, so you can give your mana, some mana. Or even, like, Basilius, Mango, finish the wand. Like, I don't know, you got a bunch of gold and you need to spend it on like some sort of like mana regen item. This is just kind of unacceptable. Like, and I feel like this is happening, like I said, because you haven't decided what you want. Like, I'm assuming you spend your gold better than this normally, I would hope. So, if you don't, then you need to spend your gold better. And if this is why, you need to make a plan earlier for like what you're gonna spend the gold on, and then like spend it. Like, even if whatever you buy ends up being suboptimal, it's still gonna be better than having 1,100 gold like in the bank at 5 minutes. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, you have a net worth of 1,500 gold, and you're effective. Like, this is like 250 gold of like usefulness you're getting out of your inventory of your total 1,500 net worth. Like, you see how this is like not, like, you're actually, it doesn't matter that you have 1,500 net worth because you're only using 250 of it. You're still not getting a pull off. I'm really confused as to why you're not pulling. Like, your Tiny's really low resources. I mean, I guess you just use wand there. Okay, you get a kill. These kills are like okay, but like I want you to like still look at like fixing the lane. Like, I think you could have gotten a pull off and still done what you're doing. So like, I don't hate what you're doing. I just think you need to pull as well. That's a pretty crazy play. Why don't you rotate mid here? So you kill the Wind Ranger. Your guy's alone. So this is an opportunity where, like, something's already happening here. You don't have boots, or... Oh, you do. You did get boots. So the first thing you bought is boots and then nothing else. Okay, you gotta work on your items, dude. Like, it's... I don't know what you're saving up for, but this is, like, really weird. Like, you can't just fly out boots. Like, get yourself regen. Get your carry some mana, right? If you give him 2 mangoes, like, you can kill anybody who comes to this lane, versus if he just doesn't have regen, like, you can't. And that's something you can buy for your carry. But yeah, you should be looking to pull here. Like, you should, you guys are doing really well in this lane. And how you, like, continue to do well is you, like, pull, you know, pull the wave back. Like, these kills are easier if the equilibrium's outside your tower. Hopefully you agree. And then, like, you get golden XP from, like, doing these pulls. So, like, that's sometimes, like, I imagine sometimes if you play this way, you'll be, like, way behind in XP at, like, 10 or 11 minutes. And, like, just roaming around, like, looking for stuff. Like, if it works, great. But, like, if it doesn't work, it's, like, super all in. I feel like you being here baited your mid Marcy into doing this play, which is bad. Like, if you're not here in this scenario, like, your Marcy doesn't go in, right? Your Marcy's really low. So, like, if you're not here, like, I'm assuming you're calling for this play. Like, there's no way Marcy wants to go in here with these resources diving a tower. Like, I can't believe that your mid Marcy wants to do this, and if he does, he's crazy, and you shouldn't participate anyways. But, like, you being here, like, baits this into happening. Like, I just don't understand how, like, you guys could conceive of this as good, and I wish you were just pulling instead. So, this is kind of crazy for me. I don't know what you're doing. What? What did you buy? Where did your courier go? Oh, you're sending your courier with wards. Okay, maybe you're getting mana boots? You're right next to a secret shop, my friend. Yeah, so you do buy your own mana boots. And then you fly the courier with wards all the way across. Okay, so that's just inefficient. You still got a bunch of gold, dude. Like, finish wand, get raindrops. You could have bought these mana boots way earlier if that's what you wanted. I feel like that would have been a reasonable purchase with like the tiny to give a mana in lane. At this phase, I don't hate that you haven't gone back top because the enemy hasn't either. The one thing you should think about is like, if enemies show back up in Tiny's lane, you want to be able to go there. Where did you TP to? Let's just check this real quick when you TP'd. Oh, did you not? You haven't had a TP? Is that what's happening? Oh, we went back really far. So you just don't have a TP. So you flew yourself out of TP? I'm not going to rehash this. I just want to see when you... So you just don't have a TP. You hang around top again. You still don't have a TP. Okay, so you still never got a TP again. So you need to get a TP again as well with your gold. That's a big mistake because you need to be ready if somebody shows up top to like go top and help your tiny. Like it's okay at this phase, like that he's free farming, nobody's in his lane, so he's like pretty comfortable. But you need to be ready to go there to help him if like they show up to like try and kill him. Like you TPing in to like Grave Shadow Wave, like probably like can save his life. And if you're not ready to do that, then you're just not gonna be able to have as big an impact. Like I like kind of what you're doing, like running around now and like putting on pressure in this way, but your priority still needs to be like this early in the game to like be able to go help your tiny. BSJ did a coaching session, or he did a replay analysis for me. It's linked to my Discord, I think in the About Me section. But you know, I have 6.3k Undying, but he kind of talks about a similar thing. And maybe it's a pretty advanced concept. It's like having foresight. But, you know, you do have a TP and you do come here eventually. If this had happened earlier, you just wouldn't have been able to participate. It is good that you did come here, though, when the event actually happened. If this had just happened at any other point prior to you having that TP, you wouldn't have been able to show up. So you're just kind of lucky that it happened when it did. Some nice warding. Looks like they're gonna... Looks like they saw you, though. It was a little unfortunate, I guess. I don't think you were like doing anything particularly wrong there. They were a little spread out on the map. You're just hanging around mid, and OD with Meteor Hammer is pretty dangerous zero. Yeah, so you've got this shard queued up now, so you've basically like assigned yourself to skipping any like early game items, and you just can't do that. This just isn't gonna have like enough impact like in some lanes. Like your lane ended up going okay once you guys started being aggressive on the Veno, but like, you know, you guys haven't earned already. It's like get something, like finish wand, get a raindrop. Like these things add up to where like, you know, maybe you don't die to this OD, you know, you get your heal plus your grave off and you like don't die. You've got to have like a couple smaller items as support. You cannot just like rush mana boots, shard, you know, we'll see what you get after that, but like these small items really matter. Let's see just real quick. If I pull up Dota 2 Pro Tracker, I actually don't know what it's going to say, but we can look. We just look at like a Dazzle Pos 5 from like a good player. What are they buying? They're buying like stick, always upgrading wand, Mana Boot Shard is obviously good, but like things like, you know, if you need it, pick up a Bassi, like I don't know, Holy Locket, having more branches even. Like some sort of smaller items, right, is like kind of what you need to be looking for. That is the point I'm trying to get at. Picking up some smokes at some point might be good. You've been roaming around a lot, and it might be a little more effective if you had smokes. I assume you guys have three in stock. Yeah, you do. So, let's pick up some smokes, I think, too. That'll make these rotations more effective.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So you're just getting these sentries down. The enemy, like, kind of sees you here, so, like, I don't like what you're doing here. Like, they saw you with the creeps, and they saw you with this Venom Ward. You can't just, like, wander around the enemy jungle alone, like, while they see you. Like, this just isn't a thing. So, like, here, when these creeps are, like, chasing you or whatever, like, you... Like, just retreat this way towards your team and be ready to, like, fight again or something. Also, I'm pretty sure the fact that these creeps chase you up this hill means they have a ward here. So that would have been a key. Like, these creeps won't chase you up this hill unless they continue to see you after you've gotten to the top of this hill. Or, like they'll run to the top of the stairs and they'll turn around if they don't see you. So I'm pretty sure they have a ward. Let's just check real quick. If we check their vision... They don't have a ward, actually. I guess this Venom Ward just, like, saw you and gave vision or something. It's unfortunate. But yeah, you can't just run around like this in their jungle. And, like, you're kind of just doing nothing here now. And, like, they still see you with the Venom Wards. So it's like, what are you doing? Like, you're running into their jungle while they watch you do this. Like, from their perspective, this looks ridiculous. Like, they see you in the jungle... they still see you. This Odie's just running at you because he knows you're here. Like, that was so simple for him. Like, this kill was so simple for him because you were just running around in vision. And you knew you were in vision because it was like, it wasn't an observer ward. It was creeps and a Venom ward, all of which you saw. So you just can't do this. It's kind of weird because, like, this is, like, the part of the map you want to play, but you can't, like, do it while you're in vision, like, alone, right? Like, you're waiting for your Viper to push in or something, but, like, you just have to, like, kind of chill while that's happening, or go play with the Viper, or go, like, push out mid and, like, wait for a teammate to show a mid. You just, like, run around in vision. What's happening? You're just looking over here. So you have your shard. Definitely upgrade this wand, dude. Leaving it on stick is, like, gross. And, like, you need to be more efficient slot-wise than this. Like, one slot for wards is great, but, like, you need wands, raindrop. I mean, if you want to pick up a casual windlace, that's fine. You don't need any other detection, I don't think. Having smokes is good. Like, you just need to have more... You just need to fill your slots more than this. It's just really inefficient. You're just skipping any smaller items. You're just buying the bare minimum, like wards, and then, like, straight into whatever items you think you need. And it's, like, these little edges that, like, add up in, like, fights and prevent you from dying. Or, like, you know, having the smoke ready. I think they matter a lot, actually. It's just, like, kind of bad inventory management, I think. Like, if you watch, like, a pro play, like, any hero, you'll see that, like, they never do this. Like, it's just not something that, like, they do. And, like, a windlace would, like, help you in these situations here. Like, connect with your team, get in range, get your spells off. I don't mind that you die here. You guys are, like, making aggressive moves, and you know, they use a lot of their stuff to kill you instead of the other people. Maybe this doesn't end up going well for your team, but I don't actually mind that, like, you were with your team and fought there. You're, like, making an aggressive play with your team, which is kind of like what we want to see. So here, I think it's important to, like, think about, like, what you actually need to do, right? I like that you didn't, like, you didn't have a TP, so I don't know if you would have TP'd out of base or not, but, like, look at the map right now, right? Like, your clock died, your Viper's getting chased down, you know? You guys kind of just did a fight. Like, you probably don't want to, like, fight again immediately, right? With this situation, you just kind of need to chill for a minute. So it's important to ask yourself, like, what needs to be done on the map, like, while we're waiting for that to happen. Bottom is pushed in really well. That's great. You don't need to, you know, there's no wave here that you could go push out. Mid is pushed into their tower. Great. Like, what's your Tiny doing? What's happening? I don't know. They're like creep camps for your Marcy and Tiny to like farm or whatever. Like, I think you just need to walk top right now, like push it out. You don't need to like be top forever, but like I don't think there's anything better for you to do right now. What is happening? Like, walking into their jungle while they're respawning is like nuts. Like, you're trying to like, I know you're trying to get these sentries to like block his camp, and I think you're like kind of playing too hard into this. Yeah, because I mean, then you know, it's their triangle, right? They're gonna see you. Like, if you're gonna do this, like, do it with a smoke and then get out. But like, I don't know. I just don't see how this ended up being like a productive use of your time, and then you getting chased out like led to this starting. I think. Like, what is your team doing? Look at you. I'll slow it down. All right, so let's watch the mini map starting like, you know, right here, right? So just watch the mini map. Put on ×1. So this TB sees you, and look at your team. They see you getting gone on, and they start moving towards you. Or it takes them a second. You're pinging. I don't know why you're pinging. Your clock goes in. So you started this engagement by getting chased, by being seen and then chased. Like, you started this. Like, I don't care that your clock initiated. Like, he was coming to help you, right? And you have to like think like, is this what you guys want to be doing right now? And I would say no. Like, before, the map was like good and you like kind of had the space to do whatever you want, but now the map's like not going to be quite as good. Like, they're pushing out mid. You see them doing this. But if they ever see you, like, this ward is going to get dewarded. Like, you've done this like multiple times now where you've run in and you've dropped the ward, and then like instantly somebody saw you and they know you're going to have warded. So like, it happened up here when the shaman did it earlier. It just happened here. Like, I think it happened somewhere over here as well. Like, if they see you, they're just going to deward whatever wards you're putting down. So like, you need to like ward less when they can see you, when they can obviously see you. Like, if they have a ward that you didn't know about and they see you do it, like, that's one thing. But they're just like seeing you with their heroes and you're like dropping these obs that are getting instantly dewarded. But like, let's look at the map now. Going back to what I was saying before, right? It's getting pushed in on your mid. Bottom's being pushed out all the way. And like, your Viper's dead. You know, your Tiny has a blink, I guess. Like, we're talking about like other timings. But like, there's no strong necessity to like fight this fight right now. I hope you follow me, but like, this isn't like a good fight to be starting. There's no like significant advantage that will be here for your team like in this fight. And like, this isn't a fight where you guys smoked up even. This is like a fight that started because they were chasing you out of their triangle that you like walked into like a madman. So like, the fact that this like goes kind of well, I honestly don't even really care about. What is happening? It's like showing you and then we're following a different hero. Sorry, this is like a replay bug, not. Yeah, I mean, this ends up working out, but like, I hope you can see that like, this wasn't a good fight to do in the first place. Like, I don't really care that this worked. Like, I'm very surprised it did, but like, it doesn't really matter to me that it worked. Like, it's still not good, because like, now a bunch of creeps have died bottom that nobody on your team was able to farm. I mean, the enemy keeps running into you, making it even worse for them. Like, instead of just like stopping, showing up. Okay, your Viper dies. And yeah, you guys even like continue to chase too far. What the heck just happened there? Oh, the TV sundered the OD. It's unlucky. But yeah, and then you guys extend too far. Classic low MMR play, and then get punished for it. And it ends up not even going well for you. I don't know. It like did, and then you could have stopped chasing, and then it didn't. All of this stemmed from like you walking into their triangle like a crazy person. What are you doing, my friend? You're completely alone, and you TP in mid to run at this OD. You're nuts, dude. So let's talk about what you should have done instead. So what is happening when you respawn? Clockwork is dying. You cannot save this guy. It's So yeah, you just TP in immediately. And I don't like this TP because you don't need to do it. Like, there's nothing happening that you would have any impact on. Like, mid is pushed in enough. Top's pushed out really far. You've got a core in bot lane. Like, nothing immediately needs your attention. Like, I see you watching this, so I don't know why you think that, like, this needs your attention, because this is, like, obviously not... Like, your Clash is just about to die. And, you know, that's life. So, like, what you should have done is you should have just, like, walked out of base. And I probably would have walked to, like, join my Marcy or something. Like, just walk to your heroes that are alive. Because you don't need to walk top. Maybe you can walk mid with anticipating that they will eventually push it back out. So walking mid would have been pretty good. TPing mid is pointless here. This is a bad TP, and now you don't have TP for 80 seconds. I see a big mid wave coming in, so I hope you push that out. Yeah, you do. That's good. Nice. Yeah, Dazzle's very good at depushing waves. It hasn't really been your job too much this game. Like, there haven't been too many waves that like really need to be pushed in, so I haven't mentioned it, but it's good. There's no reason for you to be like hanging out and like posturing like this. Like, clearing the wave, really good. Walking around, like, just like walking around in circles here, not good. So there's like two things you could be doing. You could be like leaving the lane and like somebody else will like take over mid, but like, you know, you could like go push it out bottom, like your Marcy was here and then walked away from a lane that didn't get pushed out all the way, which is like kind of on a mistake from her, but like you can like go down and like push this out if nothing's happening. Or you just need to like wait like back here, because otherwise like what if they just smoke on you right now and like you get astral meteored or something? Like, there's no reason for you to be hanging out here like in their vision doing nothing. It's like kind of important because like if they see, right, let's look at what they see. And like, I'm just telling you this because the better teams will like take advantage of this, right? So the enemy team sees you hanging out mid and they see your Viper top. So like, just from their perspective, like if they were ready, like they could just kill you, I feel like. Like, this Shaman has a blink and he's like blinking on this DD. If the Shaman had just blinked on you, you'd be dead. So like, they have the tools they need to like just kill you here, and you're just like hanging out mid, basically asking to die, just like kind of weird. Like, clear the lane from up here safely, and then like just go step back here, right? Clear this jungle camp if you don't want to leave mid. Just don't like hang around on the ramp. It's like, kind of weird. This is nuts. I know you're just here to like grave, but like, what is happening? Weird play from your Clockwork. Okay, and you end up dying for it. Honestly, I don't know. Your Clockwork is nuts, but like if I see my teammate doing that, I honestly am like not even inclined to help them. Like, I get that you're like a save hero, but like, I don't know. This is just the most nuts play I've ever seen in my life. Like, you can't just go for this. And I know you didn't start it, so I'm not like upset with you. Like, if I see my like, I don't know, if I see this, like I see nobody on their team except a TB who's close by, maybe this might be an illusion, and like this Veno, like where is his team? Like, his team is probably very close by to him. So like, I wouldn't even be inclined to help this Clock. I'd be like, dude, you're crazy. Like, I'm not gonna walk over there. Like, if I try and save you, I'm gonna die, which is exactly what happens. It's just like, I don't know. I don't like 100% blame you for that. I'm just saying that like, if I see my teammate do that, like, I don't try and save them from that. Like, that's just them feeding. And the best thing you can do when you see your teammates like making a bad play is to like not make it worse. And you like walking in there made it worse. I mean, you died instead of him, but like you both easily could have died there for you trying to help him. Again, I don't like this TP. You really need to not TP if nothing urgent is happening. Like, your TPs have just been really bad. I'm just gonna say it. Like, all these TPs are very bad. There's no reason to TP, and you just can't. You can't waste your TP like this. Like, I don't think it's bad that you came bottom. I just think it's really bad that you TP'd down here. Like, if you walked here, you'd be like almost here by now, and that wave still would have been alive, and like you could have just killed it then. Or maybe the next wave would have met this wave here. Like, all that would have happened is you like delayed what happened down here like by like 20 seconds, but then you would have had your TP up to like respond to anything else in the meantime. Okay, so you're hanging around bottom, you have a core show up, so like I don't mind what's happening right now. I think this is okay. So the TP itself is just not good. You just can't make those TPs. I don't think you can walk around in front like this, dude. Like, your team's here, great, but like, just think about positioning. Like, if you find them, which you're like actively invading their jungle at the moment, so like, you kind of have to be expecting that you're going to find them. Like, you cannot be in front. Like, you of all your heroes on your team should not be in front. This is just very bad positioning, support-wise. Again, you're like... This just gets dewarded, dude. It's just not worth it to block the camp once to, like, give away a ward. But, like, even without that, like, you're just in front. And you just feed because your positioning is really bad. So just work on your positioning. That's, like, really what you needed. That was the problem there, is you were just way out of position. You just can't be in front of your teammates. You're marching your time, you're behind you, and you're, like, you know, in League they call it face checking. You're just face checking whatever happens to be over there. I mentioned this in a couple other of my recent coaching videos, but like these cliff wards are very dangerous. So like if you were walking, you didn't even have a sentry actually. So like you have to assume they have this warded. Like when you guys are making this aggressive, invasive move, like you kind of play around the fact they might have these cliffs warded, right? Like if they have this cliff warded and you're just hanging around right here, like that's just gonna happen. I mean, I honestly don't even care if they do. I could check, but it doesn't even matter if they do or do not. Like, you just kind of have to play as if they do. It doesn't matter if they do or don't. But, like, if you play like they don't, and then they do, you just feed. Or sometimes you just feed anyways, regardless. So, I don't mind this TP to, like, come and rejoin your team. If you guys think you can still hold this area. I do mind that you didn't bring more sentries. This is, like, a total... This is terrible. You respawned... You could have bought these while you were dead. It doesn't really matter. If you're trying to like play this area, you need to have like vision control, which means you need to be buying sentries. Like if this is me, like I'm buying like this other ward and like 4 sentries, and I'm like trying to get a ward up. Like maybe not here because these cliff wards are so obvious, but like you know, you can like sentry. You guys don't really have any good way. You have clockwork flare. You could like bring your courier out. It's kind of far, but like. You know, sentry, check this somehow, maybe get a ward down like over here or something, or like back here, like just make it less obvious. These cliff wards are really obvious, and then like get it like another sentry down, right? Like make sure they don't have like vision here. Like check this cliff. Like you can't come play down here with this little vision control. Part of like playing aggressively is like being able to like set up your vision and like take good fights, and you just don't have that capability, and it's your job. Like that's part of what gives supports high impact. This phase in the game is like controlling vision effectively, and you're just not doing that. Okay, so you went out to push this wave. That makes sense. The wave kind of needs to be pushed out. But what happens here is your team's trying to do 2 things at the same time. Like, A, you're trying to like play down here aggressively. Too far back, you TP down here. So you're down here as 3 heroes, right? You're going as Wind Ranger. You should die. No, who cares? So like, either A, you're trying to play here aggressively and hold this area, in which case you need to get more vision control. Or B, you want to clean up your waves, in which case you all need to be on the same page about like backing out. So here's the thing. If you said to your teammates, like, hey guys, let's leave this area, we need to go fix our lanes, and then they didn't, that's okay. But if you just walked away here and didn't say anything to your team, this is like totally bad, because your clock is like trying to do what he was just doing 10 seconds ago, but now you've just ditched him. So there's just, hopefully there was some sort of communication there. Like, I don't hate that you're trying to clean up the waves. I just don't like that, like, somehow it wasn't communicated to your clockwork, and he was like here doing what he was doing before while you left. So it's important to try and be on the same page as your teammates. And all it has to be is like, just be like, hey, I'm gonna go clear mid, we should leave this area. Also, part of the reason why he died is, like, you didn't even drop your other ward in this area anywhere. So, like, you guys just didn't have any vision. And part of that could have been on him. Like, he was kind of out of position at that point. But I'm just telling you what you could have done from your perspective. So here it's really important to, like, keep pushing out mid. Like, if you push out mid once... Well, I guess you do push it out again. This is fine. Okay, so I guess it's fine, actually. You pushed it out again, and then you connect with your team, or you try to. It's a little crazy. Okay. Again, your positioning there was pretty wild. Like, you cannot be the one running in. Like, I don't care that you had a haste rune, right? The stuns exist. It somehow works out, but... somehow works out, whatever. So that was reasonable, except for your positioning in that fight was not that good. I'm probably going to wrap this up pretty soon. I've been going a long time. We'll go a little bit more. I think this Lotus Orb is a reasonable item. I just don't, like I said, I just didn't like the way you manage your inventory prior to getting this item. You haven't bought any wards in a while? Wait, somebody did. Did Clock buy the wards? Maybe Clock bought some? Are they coming out to you now? They're coming out to you now. You haven't bought these wards in like 3 minutes or something. Dude, you can't keep doing this. Like, obs that block camps is just feeding gold. Like, you block one camp, and you're giving away an obs, which is important for the late game to have vision, and you're, like, giving away, like, golden XP, which is less important at this phase than just, like, giving away the obs. Because they're going to deward this, dude. They're going to do it. It's just never... At this phase in the game, like 20 plus minutes, it's never worth putting down an obs to block a camp. It's just not. Again, your positioning here is crazy. Oh, sorry, I went like way too far back. So like your team rotates across, and like this is okay, but like your positioning here is bad. Like you cannot be in front. You are leading the charge as the Dazzle. You have a Tiny, you have a Clock, you have a Marcy. You cannot do this, dude. You cannot. What if they're just sitting here with like 3 heroes? Like, this is their triangle. This is the most aggressive part of the map that you guys are trying to invade. And if you're feeling strong and you see their OD's dead and you want to do it, that's fine. You just can't be the first one walking up here. Like, this is nuts, dude. So yeah, I think I'm going to cut it there. I hope you learned a lot. There's a lot of, like... I think, like, the items thing... Like, it just, throughout the game, like, you didn't spend your starting gold early, and now I'm seeing you never, like, went any small items at all. So maybe it's just an issue for you in a lot of your games. You really need to work on your items, like, buying smaller items, finishing the wand, having raindrops early, picking up these smokes. You just kind of got to do that stuff. Your other item builds, I kind of like. I think in the grand scheme, from what I saw this game, like, Arcanes into Lotus was like kind of good, although Lotus is like a big item to be buying first to support, so you know, I don't know, maybe it's really good. The Lotus is pretty good this game, so I don't hate it, honestly, but your smaller item game was not that good, and then your positioning was pretty bad in terms of like these mid-game engagements. Like, you were just out of position, like leading the charge for your team, and if you play here like Dazzle, you just can't play that way. You'll just die to start fights, and you being dead to start fights is like huge. Like, your hero has a huge impact in fights with like this Lotus and your Grave. I mean, you being dead to start a fight means your team's probably gonna lose a fight, unless they like use a ton of spells. But like, if you're leading the charge, a lot of times they don't have to use a lot to even kill you. Like, one Hex into Shackle and OD right clicking you, like, you die. So it's like, it's just gonna be a grief. Like, I'm sure, like, we didn't see it too much this game, but like, you know, we saw it here, right? Like, you just died first, and then like, it's terrible. And also this, like, running into their triangle stuff. Like, where you're, like, before, remember we talked about the fight where you ran in the triangle, and then you started this whole fight because, like, they went on you and your team tried to help you. Like, you can't just run into their triangle. And same with over here, like, in their jungle, when they had vision of you. You're, like, looking too much to, like, invade the enemy areas of the map, and you're not being careful enough about it. And they can just see you and stop you. So, yeah, man, hopefully you got a lot out of that. Thanks for signing up. If you have any questions, let me know after the fact, right, dude?